There's only so much disrespect anyone should stand for in a relationship. But the woman in today's headline story pushes that limit to the edge of the universe, and her guy still takes her back. What the hell is going on here? Let's get into the mess.
Just address something, because what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to tolerate no disrespect on this internet. You heard me? At the end of the day, y'all don't understand what real love is, baby. One thing about a real man gonna stick by his woman no matter what. You heard me? That's real unconditional love, baby. So what y'all not gonna do, y'all not gonna disrespect me or my man. He stood by my side, baby. And even when I got married to this other dude, he stayed there. I had a baby with the dude, he stayed there. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm at a point in my life where I see how much this man loves and values me, because he waited. Everything we went through, we got through. And I realized I have a king on my arms, you heard me? So y'all not gonna play with my man. Ain't nothing about him a simp, baby. I have a king, and I'm gonna do right from here on out.
This was crazy. There's nothing commendable about sticking around for a woman who treats you like trash. Have some self-respect, man. To me, this guy must not think much of himself if his girl can run off with some other dude and have a kid with him, then come back into his life like nothing happened. This guy has no boundaries, and this isn't what I'd call real love at all. She's just taking advantage of a man who seemingly doesn't have any better options. She even describes him as a king, but there's nothing king-like about what he's doing. The whole concept about a man sticking around for a woman, no matter what she does to him, is crazy and grounds for all sorts of abuse. Can you imagine what would happen if a guy was saying this about a woman? People like this are magnets for emotional chaos, so there's no way you could ever expect to live a life of peace with someone like this. If she genuinely loved and respected this guy, there's not a chance in hell that she'd treat him like this. But I think it's too late for this guy. He's cooked with extra seasoning.
I hate when I tell people that I only date men with money and they think that I'm dating them for their money. Like, no, I have my own motion. I just need you to have some too. And then what's even worse is when they're like, oh, don't worry about money. Make sure he's kind, or he has a relationship with God, or he treats you well, or he's tall, whatever. Why are we selecting 5 out of 8? Why can't we have it all? Why are we limiting ourselves? Like, money and kind is not mutually exclusive. They can do both.
While she might not be dating men exclusively for their money, it sure as hell seems to be a big part of it. And that's the case with most women. If she has her own money, why can't she do what a lot of men would be willing to do for her if they were making good money, which is to be the sole provider? I mean, you all know the answer to this already, so I don't need to go into it. While money and kindness aren't mutually exclusive, when you start dating men who have money and status, there are certain trade-offs that tend to come with that. And this whole "you can't have it all" thing is delusional to me, because we're not living in a Disney movie. This is the exact type of thing that'll keep people single forever. I had to check out the comments on this one because I knew there'd be a lot of women backing her up. The concept is so simple. Why would we settle for a man who doesn't do what we can do for ourselves? You can't have all 8 because nobody in the world has it all. You have to pick and choose what's really important and what makes a relationship work. Or being unattractive with money. Like, no, I need both. And the original creator for this video responded with, and you can have both. The thing is, if a woman was dating a man who looked like this and was making very good money, do you really think she'd be the only one he's hooking up with? Get real, man.
Men in their late 30s and early 40s, stop dating around and go find a woman to get married to already. At your big age, late 30s and 40s, you should have found a woman that you love by now to settle down with. Are you not ashamed? Like, are you not ashamed passing around looking for young girls to flirt with and date? Go find a wife and get married, Joe.
While I think that there comes a time in everyone's life where they need to start thinking about settling down, if that's what they want. The thing is, men and women have different experiences and desires when it comes to sex and relationships, so you can't really view them through the same lens. If a man's financially stable and not totally incompetent with women, he can settle down later in life. Men don't have a biological clock like women do, so just because they hit their 40s, it doesn't mean they have to rush into something. I will say though, if you're a guy who doesn't have options like that, you might have to start looking for a long-term partner earlier, because it might just take you longer to find someone.
There are 2 females going to university for every 1 male in the UK at the moment, and I don't think this is being spoken about enough because this will have a huge impact on our society. It's likely that we'll see what were once male-dominated fields actually have a lot more females in, simply because the volume of female applicants is going to skyrocket. One major factor of this that I cannot stop thinking about is that it's no secret that often people tend to date and marry within their education bracket. This is especially true for females. They like to marry somebody who is of a similar level of education to them or more. I think studies show that men aren't quite so picky when it comes to education, but women particularly are. And in this situation, we have got double the amount of university educated women than men. So there's going to be a large pool of very competent, very educated women that probably have quite high up positions in jobs, all competing for a very, very small set of highly university educated men. I honestly predict that there will be lots of women that cannot find a partner that they feel they're happy to start a family with, and therefore will choose to raise children on their own and get pregnant via other means. This isn't just all about the women though. We really need to look into why so few men are wanting to go to university. Because you absolutely do not need to go to university in order to be successful. But if we have got double the amount of females going to university than males, it would suggest that the males in our society are, for whatever reason, not as motivated. So I think we really need to look into why this is and what we can do to help young men feel more driven. This situation is likely to impact society in so many ways. What other ways can you think of?
Because women tend to look for men who are on their level or above, society really will start to run into issues when most women start out earning most men. We're already seeing loads of women complaining about how there aren't any economically viable men for them. And like she said in this video, those women end up competing for the small pool of high-earning men who are available. Men don't have the same requirements for women when it comes to who they choose to settle down with. So those high-earning women will find themselves competing with women who aren't career-driven and super high earners. And just like you see on dating apps, when guys are in a position of abundance when it comes to women, it tends to take them much longer to settle down. And even when they do find someone, they're much more likely to cheat because of all the options they have. If people think situationships are a problem now, I can't imagine what things will be like in 20 years. If society doesn't stop ignoring the needs of men, the divide between the genders is only going to get bigger.
Some men believe they have to be very, very financially successful before they approach a relationship, let alone approaching a relationship with a woman that they feel already has some kind of success. When you are a woman and on the surface, you have what they would deem as success, I think some men see that as unattainable. And they feel like they have to be in a certain place to even approach you. Then you have the men who do not respect confident women or women who are ambitious. They see it as masculine to be an ambitious woman and not feminine. Why do you not want to be in the home? Why are you focused on having a career? Why is your career important to you? But then I do say to my female friends who are ambitious, who are successful, who are outspoken, who are confident, they're just not the men for you.
It's becoming common sense these days that women don't tend to date men who make less than them. So why wouldn't a man feel like he needs to be financially successful before approaching a woman who's making a lot of money? Even if a man isn't trying to get with a woman who's hit the jackpot, relationships in general can be pretty damn expensive. Evolutionarily speaking, men find their value in being able to provide resources and security. So when that's taken away, it can leave a big hole regarding what their purpose or role is. Now, she didn't go into the kind of men that her ambitious and successful friends are chasing, but I'd wager that they're in a similar bracket. And if that's the case, it makes sense as to why a guy wouldn't necessarily be interested in building a life with them. Men who are able to provide don't need a woman who's on the same level as them. Instead, what they're looking for is someone who can complement their life. And if they can find that more readily in women who aren't super career driven, that's what they're going to go for. Anyway guys, that's about it for today. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.